Welcome to the Return to Wholeness Academy with Heidi Marquez, founder of the Return to Wholeness method. Lesson 3 is Embodying a New Way of Living. By now, you have ideally realized that transformation is something you live, not simply understood. Throughout this journey, you have developed greater awareness, learned to regulate your nervous system, released what no longer serves you, repatterned subconscious beliefs, and reconnected with your authentic self. Now comes the next step, embodying everything you have discovered. Embodiment is where insight becomes action and where knowledge becomes lived experience. It is choosing, moment by moment, to think, feel, and respond in ways that reflect the person you are becoming. It is allowing your daily choices to align with your values, your intentions, and your authentic self. The beautiful truth is that lasting transformation is created through small, intentional choices practiced consistently over time. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you choose compassion instead of criticism, every time you honor your needs, regulate your emotions, or return to presence, you are strengthening new neural pathways and reinforcing a new way of being. These moments may seem small, however, they are quietly reshaping your brain, your nervous system, your relationships, and ultimately, your life. Progress is measured by your willingness to keep returning to awareness, returning to alignment, and returning to yourself, not measured by perfection. As these practices become familiar, they begin to require less effort. What once felt intentional gradually becomes natural. Eventually, the way you practice becomes the way you live. In this lesson, we will explore how to embody your values, cultivate integrity, strengthen healthy boundaries, practice brain-heart coherence, and consciously participate in creating a life that reflects who you truly are. This is where healing becomes living, and where transformation becomes your new baseline. From knowing to becoming. Through consistency, we mean learning creates awareness. However, awareness alone does not create lasting transformation. Many people know what supports their well-being. They know the value of slowing down, regulating their emotions, setting healthy boundaries, practicing gratitude, or choosing nourishing habits. Yet, knowing something intellectually and living it consistently are two very different experiences. Transformation occurs when knowledge is practiced repeatedly until it becomes part of who you are. Every intentional choice strengthens the neural pathways supporting that behavior. Over time, what once required conscious effort becomes more natural. New thoughts become familiar, healthier responses become automatic, and new habits begin to replace old patterns. This process is about consistency, not about perfection. Each time you return to your practice, you are reinforcing the person you are becoming. Small moments of alignment, repeated day after day, create profound change over weeks, months, and years. Think of learning to play an instrument, speak a new language, or strengthen a muscle. Mastery develops through steady practice over time, not created through one extraordinary effort. Personal transformation follows the same principle. Every breath that brings you back to the present, every moment of self-compassion, every conscious decision that reflects your values is another step toward becoming the person you are choosing to be. You become a new version of yourself through the small choices you make every day, not overnight. Consistency transforms healing from something you do into the way you live. Eventually, the practices that once felt intentional become part of your natural way of being. That is when knowing truly becomes becoming. Living from your values. Your values are your inner compass. They are the principles that guide your choices, shape your relationships, and influence the way you move through the world. When your actions reflect your values, you experience a greater sense of clarity, purpose, and inner peace. Many people spend years living according to expectations, habits, or the opinions of others. Over time, it becomes easy to lose sight of what truly matters to them. This can create a sense of disconnection, even when life appears successful on the outside. As you reconnect with your authentic self, your values become easier to recognize. They become the foundation from which you make decisions, not something you think about occasionally. Living from your values provides a reliable direction when life becomes complicated, challenging, faced with competing priorities, and moments of uncertainty. When you are unsure what to do, you can pause and ask yourself, does this choice reflect the person I want to be? That single question can shift your perspective from reacting automatically to responding intentionally. The more often your choices align with your values, the more trust you build with yourself. You begin to experience greater confidence because your life reflects what truly matters to you. Your values are guideposts that help you stay connected to your authentic self, not rules meant to restrict you. When your thoughts, choices, and actions consistently align with your values, you naturally experience greater coherence, integrity, and wholeness. That is where lasting transformation continues to grow. Creating the conditions for intentional living through cultivating coherence. Intentional living begins with coherence. Coherence is a state of harmony where your thoughts, emotions, body, and actions work together instead of pulling you in different directions. It is the experience of feeling centered, present, and aligned with who you truly are. When you are in a coherent state, your mind becomes clearer, your nervous system becomes more balanced, and your choices naturally reflect your values. Rather than reacting from old patterns, you are better able to respond with awareness, wisdom, and intention. The beautiful part is that coherence is something you can intentionally cultivate, not something you have to earn. Simple practices such as slowing your breath, expressing gratitude, becoming aware of your thoughts, connecting with your heart, spending time in nature when possible, or spending a few moments in stillness all help create the conditions for coherence. As these moments accumulate, they strengthen your ability to remain grounded, even when life becomes busy or challenging. You begin to recover more quickly, think more clearly, and respond in ways that support your well-being. Coherence also creates the ideal environment for growth and transformation. When your brain, heart, and nervous system are working together, it becomes easier to learn, adapt, build healthy habits, and embody the person you are becoming. This is about gently returning to alignment whenever you notice you have drifted away, not about striving for perfection or maintaining a particular feeling every moment of every day. Every time you return to coherence, you strengthen your capacity for intentional living. Over time, coherence becomes more than a practice. It becomes your natural baseline. From that place, living with purpose, authenticity, and wholeness becomes less about effort and more about simply being yourself. Living with congruence, integrity, and boundaries. Living in alignment also means living with congruence, integrity, and healthy boundaries. What is living with congruence? It's the experience of your thoughts, words, values, and actions working together. It is when the way you live reflects who you truly are. This creates a deep sense of authenticity because you are no longer divided between who you are on the inside and how you show up in the world. As a result, integrity grows from that alignment. What is living with integrity? It's choosing actions that honor your values, even when no one else is watching. Every choice that reflects your authentic self strengthens the trust you have in yourself. Over time, integrity becomes less about what you do and more about who you are becoming. Healthy boundaries naturally emerge from self-awareness and self-respect. What is living with boundaries? A way of honoring your well-being while creating relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. They help you communicate your needs with clarity, protect your time and energy, and create space for meaningful connection. As you strengthen your boundaries, you also strengthen your capacity to live intentionally. You become more confident in making choices that support your growth while remaining compassionate toward yourself and others.
Congruence, integrity, and boundaries work together to create a strong foundation for lasting transformation. Each one reinforces the others, helping you live with greater clarity, confidence, and authenticity. These qualities are developed through small, intentional choices made consistently over time. Every time your actions reflect your values, every time you speak honestly, every time you honor your needs with kindness and respect, you reinforce the person you are becoming. Living with congruence, integrity, and healthy boundaries is about expressing your authentic self with clarity, compassion, and confidence, not about striving to meet someone else's expectations. As these qualities become part of your daily life, they create greater trust within yourself, healthier relationships with others, and a deeper experience of living in alignment with who you truly are.
Living beyond the five senses means as you continue embodying this new way of living, you also begin expanding the way you experience yourself and the world around you. While your five senses help you perceive the physical world, human awareness extends beyond what you can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. You also have the capacity to perceive through your inner world, through intuition, insight, imagination, inner knowing, and conscious awareness. These inner capacities become easier to recognize as you cultivate coherence, regulate your nervous system, and reconnect with your authentic self. Your intuition is one example of this expanded awareness. It is the quiet inner guidance that often speaks through a feeling of clarity, peace, curiosity, or gentle knowing. The more connected you become with yourself, the easier it is to recognize and trust that guidance. Your imagination is another powerful capacity. Every meaningful creation begins as a possibility within the mind before it becomes reality. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with your values and intentions, you begin creating your life with greater awareness and purpose. Living beyond the five senses is about expanding your awareness to include both your inner and outer experiences, not about disconnecting from reality. As you strengthen this awareness, you become more present, more intentional, and more receptive to the wisdom that already exists within you. You begin noticing opportunities, recognizing patterns, making decisions with greater clarity, and responding to life from a place of alignment rather than habit. This expanded awareness complements logic or reason, not replace them. Your analytical mind and your intuitive wisdom can work together, allowing you to make decisions that are both thoughtful and deeply aligned with who you are. The more you practice listening to your inner guidance, the more familiar it becomes. Over time, trusting yourself becomes less about searching for answers outside of yourself and more about recognizing the wisdom that has been within you all along. Living beyond the five senses is an invitation to experience life with greater awareness, curiosity, and intention. It is another step toward living as your authentic self and participating consciously in the life you are creating. What do we mean by vibrational creation, living from the inside out? The way you experience life is influenced not only by what happens around you, it is also shaped by what is happening within you. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, intentions, and physiology are constantly interacting. Together, they influence how you perceive opportunities, respond to challenges, connect with others, and participate in creating your life. This is what it means to live from the inside out. Rather than allowing external circumstances to determine your inner state, you begin cultivating an inner state that supports the life you want to create. When your thoughts, emotions, values, and actions become coherent, you naturally communicate a more consistent expression of who you are. Your choices become clearer, your relationships become more authentic, and your daily experiences begin reflecting that inner alignment. Your energy influences the way you show up in every moment. When you cultivate gratitude, compassion, curiosity, hope, and purpose, you create conditions that support greater resilience, creativity, meaningful connection,
and well-being. These states influence not only how you feel, they influence how you think, the decisions you make, and the opportunities you recognize. Vibrational creation is about consciously cultivating the inner qualities you want to express, not about trying to control every outcome. You can choose how you prepare your mind, regulate your body, open your heart, and respond to each experience, not control every circumstance life presents. Those choices shape the direction of your life, one moment at a time. As your inner world becomes more coherent, your outer life begins to reflect that transformation. What you constantly think, feel, believe, and practice gradually becomes the foundation from which you live. Living from the inside out is an invitation to become an active participant in your own transformation. Every intentional thought, every aligned emotion, every conscious choice becomes another opportunity to embody the life you are creating.
Living the return to wholeness way as a daily way of living. We mean returning to wholeness is more than completing a course. It is a way of living. It is a daily commitment to choosing awareness, cultivating coherence, honoring your authentic self, and living in alignment with your values. Every moment offers a new opportunity to reconnect with yourself and create the life you want to live. The Return to Wholeness method is a lifelong practice that continues to evolve as you do, not a destination you arrive at. The beautiful part is that living the Return to Wholeness way grows through simple, intentional moments that become part of your daily rhythm, not hours of practice each day. A sustainable rhythm can be simple. Each morning, begin your day with intention. Take a few moments to breathe deeply, cultivate gratitude, connect with your values, and set an intention for how you want to show up. Throughout the day, return to awareness. Pause for a few conscious breaths. Notice how your body feels. Regulate your nervous system when needed, and ask yourself, are my choices aligned with my values? These brief moments strengthen your connection to your authentic self. Each evening, reflect with compassion. Celebrate where you lived in alignment. Acknowledge what you learned. Release what no longer serves you, and end your day with gratitude. These practices create a rhythm that supports your well-being, not a perfect routine. As these daily moments accumulate, awareness becomes natural, coherence becomes familiar, intentional choices become habits, and living in alignment becomes your baseline. Over time, returning to wholeness becomes more than something you practice. It becomes the way you think, relate, create, and move through the world. Remember, wholeness has never been something you needed to find. It has always been within you. The practices you have learned simply help you reconnect with what has always been there. Every breath, every moment of awareness, every intentional choice, every return to coherence becomes another step toward living as your authentic self. This is the return to wholeness way of living, a life of awareness, a life of intention, a life of coherence, a life of authenticity, a life of continual growth. With each new day, you have another opportunity to embody the wholeness that has always been within you. Bringing it all together. As you reach the end of this lesson, take a moment to reflect on how far you have come. You have learned how consistent, intentional choices shape lasting transformation. You have discovered the importance of living from your values, cultivating coherence, practicing integrity, honoring healthy boundaries, expanding your awareness, and living from the inside out. Each of these practices strengthens the others. Living from your values creates clarity. Coherence creates alignment. Integrity builds self-trust. Healthy boundaries protect your well-being. Expanded awareness deepens your connection with yourself. Living from the inside out allows your inner transformation to be expressed through your daily choices.
Together, they create a way of living that supports lasting health, meaningful relationships, and authentic fulfillment. The beautiful part is that you do not have to master every practice at once. Every intentional choice you make is strengthening the foundation you are building. Some days will feel effortless. Other days will invite you to pause, reflect, and begin again. Every moment becomes another opportunity to practice living in alignment with who you truly are. Transformation grows through consistency, not through perfection. With each conscious breath, each intentional decision, each act of compassion toward yourself and others, you continue reinforcing the person you are becoming. This is what embodiment looks like. It is allowing your thoughts, emotions, values, and actions to work together in harmony. It is expressing your authentic self with greater confidence, presence, and purpose. It is living each day as a reflection of the wholeness that has always existed within you. As you continue this journey, remember that every small step matters. Every moment of awareness, every choice made with intention, and every return to coherence strengthens your capacity to create a life that reflects your deepest values. This is not simply a new way of thinking. It is a new way of living. And with every intentional choice, you are becoming more fully aligned with the person you were always meant to be.
Pause. Reflect. Integrate. Before moving forward, take a few moments to integrate what you have learned. Transformation is strengthened through reflection, intention, and consistent practice. Pause. Begin by becoming fully present. Take a slow, deep breath. Notice your thoughts without judgment. Observe your emotions with curiosity. Bring awareness to the sensations within your body. Allow yourself to simply be here, creating space before moving forward. Reflect. Now, gently turn your attention inward. Ask yourself, which value do I want to embody? What boundary will support that value? There are no right or wrong answers. Simply listen with openness and trust what arises. Integrate. Awareness becomes transformation when it is expressed through action. Ask yourself, what is one choice I can make today that reflects the person I am becoming? How can I embody these principles in my everyday life? How will I return to these practices when life becomes challenging? Remember, every intentional choice strengthens the foundation you are building. To help direct your experience, choose an intention that reflects how you want to live. Write it down. Read it aloud. Repeat it to yourself 3 times each morning upon waking, and 3 times each evening before falling asleep. This simple practice helps reinforce your intention and strengthens the connection between your conscious and subconscious mind. Complete this statement in your own words. I choose to embody. Perhaps it is peace, compassion, courage, authenticity, presence, confidence, wholeness, or perhaps it is something uniquely meaningful to you. Allow your intention to become more than words. Let it guide your thoughts, influence your choices, and shape the way you move through each day. Every time you return to your intention, you are taking another step toward embodying the life you are consciously creating. Here we leave you with our 5 Return to Wholeness method principles for this lesson. Live from your values. Cultivate coherence. Honor yourself through integrity and healthy boundaries. Practice with consistency and self-compassion. Create your life from the inside out. Thank you for learning with us. Return to Wholeness curriculum. Our pillars are education, reflection, integration, transformation. Throughout the Return to Wholeness method, 3 principles have guided every lesson you've experienced: awareness, intention, practice. Awareness helps you recognize what is. Intention helps you choose what is possible. Practice transforms possibility into reality. These three principles work together to create lasting transformation. They remind us that change unfolds through repeated moments of awareness, intentional choice, and consistent practice, not all at once. Every step you've taken in this academy has been preparing you for this process. And every step you take from here continues your journey of returning to wholeness. Next steps. Listen to today's guided practice, personal sovereignty meditation. Continue to the next lesson. If you are seeking community, consider joining the remote Holistic Reset Group program at HeidiMarquez.com/Holistic Reset Group Program. If you want us to facilitate your journey, claim your complimentary introductory consultation with us at calendly.com/returntoWholeness/15mins. As we conclude this pathway, remember, transformation is about developing the awareness, intention, and capacity to return to yourself with greater compassion, resilience, and authenticity. Not about perfection or eliminating every challenge from your life. Every step you've taken throughout this journey has created new opportunities for growth, choice, and lasting transformation. Congratulations! You've completed the foundational stages of the Return to Wholeness method. Remember, your mind and body are working for you, not against you. Every experience has offered an opportunity to learn, adapt, and protect you. As you cultivate awareness, create the conditions for change, and intentionally practice new ways of being, you strengthen your ability to live in alignment with your authentic self. The Return to Wholeness method provides a clear pathway for lasting transformation. We begin by becoming aware of our inner landscape, discovering the patterns that shape our experience, creating the conditions for change through regulation, releasing what no longer serves us, repatterning the subconscious, reconnecting with our authentic self, embodying new ways of living, and continually returning to wholeness through awareness, intention, and practice. This journey is about remembering who you've always been beneath the patterns you've learned, not about becoming someone new, and creating the conditions for your authentic self to be expressed more fully each day. As you continue moving forward, remember, every moment of awareness, every intentional choice, and every consistent practice is another step toward living from the wholeness that has always been within you.